what do you know about, or what can you say about different levels? I mean, you hear people talk about the astral plane, and then there's a spiritual plane, and that, depending upon the kind of person or the kind of personality or the kind of, ignorance that you are still wading through, that kind of gravitates you towards people of a like mind. Is that true at all?
Well, it depends on how, so the last sentence you said of gravitating towards people of like mind, that makes sense regardless of whether this goes to the point I said where there's less difference between this side and the other side than people realize. Obviously, there's difference. First of all, if people are still hung up on my statement of that, it's we don't have a biological body, this energy, it's light and all that. But I was talking about it from a soul standpoint. So that's an example of what we're talking about there, right? So you're still going to gravitate towards people of like minds, we'll say, predilections, you kind of lean this way, preferences that way, behavior this way or that way. You on the other side as well as this side. But the levels thing, I am an anti-level person, anti-level. Because first of all, I'm a believer in free will, each individual free will, bottom line, bottom line. And if that's the case, that then there's no levels that anybody can put you into. That's the implication when you hear people say that. You have to go to this level and then you graduate to this level. I know some very famous people who have a lot of followers, spiritual teachers, and that's what they teach. It's a bunk. It's a lot of bunk. It's a lot of baloney. It's just silliness. It's just, but it grabs people's attention because people they like to feel like, oh, it's very well organized and there are certain rules you follow and you can do this and that. People who are insecure, this is a generalization, and I don't mean this in a judgy way, I just mean it in an academic way. People who tend to be less secure like to move more towards more control. And they think that if you can control externally, that the insecurity is going to go away. No, we all know insecurity is dealt with from the inside out. You have to turn within and connect and da. It's not about all the external, living under a dictatorship, for example. Really insecure people think that if they live in a dictatorship, then life will be easier. It's going to be easier for the dictator, but maybe not for the masses. But the insecure masses make these jumps and assumptions, and so that gets transposed, unfortunately, into the spiritual communities, and then into the way the other side is viewed in terms of levels. That's the progression, and then gotcha. what you have, Bart, is beings on the other side who then take advantage of that. Beings on the other side who say, yeah, there's levels, and you know what? You got to go through my gate to get to that level, and you got to go da. So then they feed on those fears. I'm the anti-fear, anti-insecure guy. I'm into helping you guys all get as fear-free as possible. Again, nobody's perfect, but get freer from fear and more secure inside as much as possible. You're not going to fall prey to those sales pitches, because there'll be plenty of those sales pitches that people will get on the other side, and they'll be packaged very nicely, beautifully, right?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of getting off an airplane in Delhi and all the guys you have to walk through.
Yeah, right, exactly. Tell the other people. I know what you mean, but tell the other people what you're talking about.
Well, in any third world country, or in any country really, but it's particularly bad in third world countries. There's just a million people who want to sell you a ride or sell you anything, and they're trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
Barkers.
Yep. And they can do it and the very sophisticated, the sharp ones, can do it in a way that can be very seductive. And so that's
Oh
what
yeah, these guys are professionals.
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. They really know how to do it. And so, those same beings are going to die someday, Bart. And those same beings who were doing it 100 or 200 years ago in Delhi are already dead. Where are they? What do you think they're doing on the other side? All right. So